Hey everyone, just wanted to give you a quick demo for the new ZenML pipeline deployments feature, one that I'm particularly excited about. Here you can see that we have a simple pipeline, which I'm calling a weather agent. All it does is it gets the weather for a particular city, analyzes it with an LLM, and returns some of the results. So as you know, in ZenML, you can simply run this pipeline as a simple batch pipeline. So what ZenML, every one of you is used to. What that does is it orchestrates a pipeline as a process in the orchestrator. In this case, I'm using the default orchestrator, and you can see that it just simply creates a DAG of nodes and tracks the data. Like these are all the features that you're used to. You can see the code is tracked, the logs are tracked, etc., etc. However, in cases where you're serving a model or you are deploying an agentic workflow, sometimes the wait between getting these results and the latency of a batch multi-node orchestrated setup is simply too low. So what if you wanted to serve this in a fast, low latency way, just like a fast API server that you hit a request and you get a response? Well, now this is possible with the new ZenML pipeline deployer interface. All you have to do is you have to switch to a stack which has a deployer. We have many flavors of a deployer, just like an orchestrator. So in this particular case, I'm going to be deploying locally first just to try things out. And then what you can do is you can use this new ZenML pipeline deploy command, which basically deploys this pipeline that you point to onto your deployer as a fast API instance. So in essence, this is wrapping things inside a fast API interface, creating an API for you to hit. And then every time you hit that API, you're actually running the pipeline in a very fast way. So you can see how fast that was. If I go back to my dashboard, I can see there's a new tab, which is called deployments. If I click on this deployment, you can see that this is very simple. I get a URL. If I go into that URL, an exciting thing about this is that you can ship front-end files alongside that fast API server. So the fast API server itself is behind docs. So you can see there's an invoke endpoint, which I can hit. But I can also hit it through this front end, which makes it very easy for me to demo things. I can ship now entire applications alongside my ZenML pipeline, which is a very exciting feature for us. Here you can see how that works. If you wanted, you could also do this here. So we have a simple playground, which lets you do this as well. There you go. Now you can see every time a deployment is run, a new run is created. So every invocation of this particular pipeline creates a run. So if I go back here and I say London, you can see that a new ZenML pipeline run is actually created and executed just like you would in a normal way, but it's running in the node in a fast way. You can see it's already done. Now, right now, this is running locally. Of course, we have many different flavors of the deploy component. So if I switch my stack to, let's say, an AWS deployer stack, which has an AWS deployer configured, I can actually simply deploy this pipeline directly on AWS without having to worry about it. So all I have to do is press this button, and we'll see what happens. So you can see how easy that was. It created the Docker image this time, pushed it to AWS, and now in the dashboard, if I go into my deployments, I'll be able to see another deployment. This time, this app is running on AWS. If I click on it, I have my AWS app runner, which is the backend we used, and I can make a request directly in AWS just as normal. And this is just the start, so there's many more details about this, but what excites me the most is the unification of the batch and serving world, which is, I believe, a first in the community. I think there's lots of use cases to be unlocked, not just for agents, but also for classical machine learning. I'm super excited to get feedback from the community. So let me know if you play with it, and join us on Slack and give us a star on GitHub. Thank you.